So let's continue decorating our Jane Austen journal. And this is one of the images that came with the kit from Medieval Mirage. And I'm going to use these images, but I'm going to first tear them down a little bit using my tear ruler. And then I'm only going to do one image at a time. And I'm going to be using a new product. I ordered this online and I just double checked, and you can get it through Amazon. Not this specific brand, but you just type in velvet powder. And I just ordered off of Amazon a set of 24 powders. And they're for nails, for putting on top of your nails. But I'm going to use it on her dress. So I've tried a couple of different ways of doing this. And the best way I found is to use my Beacons 3-in-1 glue. I suppose you could also use your art glitter glue. But what you're going to want to do is put glue all around her dress. Now, if you look real close, I'm going to pull it up to you. You see, it almost looks like there's a little bit of lace in here and like a ruffle. So we're going to use this velvet powder to accent this. And so I'm just going to put my Beacons 3-in-1 glue all over this dress. And I do put it kind of thick. And my powder is going to stick wherever my glue is. Okay. So all you have to do with the powder is open the lid and then squeeze it. And you can see it's coming out. And like I said, it will only go where the glue is. And it's like embossing powder. You can put it back into the bottle. So once I've squeezed some out, I'm going to press it down so that it sticks to the glue. And then I'm going to leave this for almost all day long or even overnight to dry. So we're going to set that aside. Okay, so I did two and they have dried, so let's do the reveal. So just like embossing powder, all you have to do is turn it over and flick it. Let's do this other side. And then you could put this back into your bottle. But let's do the reveal. I'm going to bring it up to you. So if you look real close, you can see it looks like velvet there. It's just absolutely beautiful. Let's look at the other one. Now this one came out much better because long here, it's really raised up. Isn't that cool? I love that. Now, I see I didn't put any here, so I need to put a little bit of glue here because her dress comes back behind there. But isn't that cool? I love that. So then we will continue decorating it. So you can see if I go real close right there, there's a little spot right there that doesn't have much. And then I'm going to go along here and put some glue. So I'm just going to put just a tiny little dot there and then a little bit along here. And then bring in what I have left over and just pick some up and lay it over the top and press it down and set it aside to dry. So let's add a little bit more dimension now around the frame. And I have these seed beads, which are a little bit of a pain to work with, but I'm still going to do it because I like the effect. So what I'm going to do is take a fine tip glue pen that I actually have my Beacons 3-in-1 glue in, and I'm just going to run it around the edge of the frame. And then I'm going to take the gold seed beads, and this is a little bit of a mess because they start flying everywhere, but I like the effect. So I'm just going to kind of tilt it up into a curve and just put a bunch of the beads all the way around it. And then just kind of move them around so that they all catch on that glue. So yeah, they just roll everywhere, but that's okay. They'll vacuum up easily. And so we're going to set that aside to dry. You can, if there's some kind of stuck where you don't want them, you just pick them off. But I think that's going to give a nice little effect to that frame. And while the frame is drying, I have some Nuvo drops that are called rose water, and it dries translucent. And I'm just going to add a few little touches here to the flowers. And then I also have a pale gold Nuvo drop. And when you use these, it's best to start out on a piece of paper and get your drops going. And then bring it to your project. And so she's got this little headband here, and I'm just going to put little bitty dots all along it. They're very slight. And then we'll let that dry. So this is what the outside of the frame looks like. I'm going to bring it up close so you can see. And then it's ever so slight, that little raised area there. And then the flowers also, again, just very, very slightly raised up. But I want to add a little bit more pink and down in these corners, but it's a little bit too white for me, so I've cut it off. This is from a vintage handkerchief, and I have just a little bit of coffee here that I have in a spray bottle, and I'm gonna just spray a little bit on here just to darken it up a little bit. And then I'm making a new planner for myself. Might as well spray this because this is the elastic. I put elastic around it so that I can have my pencil attached to my planner. So I'm just going to let that dry and put that over to the side. And then underneath here, this is a new stamp that I got from Your Creative Studio box. It was this last month, and I love that. That looks very, very vintage. So I'm going to just do a little bit of stamping around the corner there, just to age it up a little bit. I did also ink around my edges with vintage photo, and I'm just going to kind of go off the sheet, off the page here. Yeah, that just adds a little bit more into that corner. Okay. The pieces of my handkerchief have dried, and what I've done is just lay them in each corner and then did a straight stitch all the way around it. And so the page is complete, and the changes are very subtle, but I think very effective. They do add a lot to the page. This is what we started out with, and although it's a very beautiful image and page, I think adding these little touches really do enhance it. So I hope this gave you some inspiration and some ideas for your own projects. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it as always, and I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks so much. Bye.